You heard when Greg Moore spoke earlier this evening about the work done by the Voter Fund in the year 2000. 2 million new voters brought to the polls. Voter turnout in Texas up 50%. Voter turnout in Florida up 60%. Black voter turnout in Missouri up 134%. And they were voting for a dead man, and the dead man won.
We imagine the possibilities for turning out historic and unprecedented numbers of African American voters and voters of a goodwill across the country committed to civil rights.
There will be electors who are going to try to discourage people from voting. And the more difficult it makes for low-income people, first-time voters, foreign language people, the better it is sometimes for people in the majority who want to keep it that way. And
just asking a young person to vote, just asking somebody between 18 and 25 to vote would increase turnout by 8 to 12 points.
But you're more likely to get us to just show up and vote if we can register the day that we're there.
Purging people for non-voting, intimidating voters at the polling place. There's an ongoing struggle to keep empowering our people, but there's an ongoing, well-funded struggle to stop that from happening.
getting everybody the right to vote and getting everybody to vote is simply the right thing to do.
It is as much our fault as it is the government's fault for not getting propagated.
You don't have to register for the right to free speech. You don't have to register for the right to public assembly. You don't have to register for the right to gather and to express your religious beliefs, but you gotta register for the right to vote. So you already start off with the provision that puts a roadblock between you and the right that you were born with.
Right. And then once you give them your name and everything about because we're really trying to help get some resources.
Rock the vote.
When you're recruiting, you recruit for the Army, you start recruiting students at 17, 16. You have the people going into the schools. The Army, we want you, we want you.
We need to start getting a little pissed off about this. And we need to start showing up and just saying, hey, you know, this is my voice and you're going to listen to it.
One of the things I think as politicians should do to help young people vote by recruiting them early at an earlier age. 6 months before their 18th birthday, you know, you give them something to think about in 6 months.
This nation and every state, particularly in the South, could be changed if there were a higher voter turnout of African American voters.
Will be the first general national election since the debacle of 2000. It doesn't matter whether you are Republican or Democrat. The fact of the matter is that many Americans, particularly those that you serve the most, lost a lot of confidence in the electoral process because of what happened. Therefore, you're going to have to work even more strenuously and with more commitment than ever before to get people out to vote and to protect our right to vote.
When we talk about the numbers of minorities that have been locked out of this process, it really does become a civil rights issue.
There's a computer program which is zooming in on black voters and erasing their name from the voter file.
We are engaged in a campaign to register ex-offenders in states across the country. Our effort is to take these kind of legislative efforts, show them as models for other states, and begin to push the kind of reforms that will help get rid of the high and escalating number of disenfranchised Americans.
Why should the citizens of Maryland be treated differently than the citizens of Pennsylvania? Why should they be treated differently than in 38 other states?
This is a list of 57,000 criminals. Bad folk not allowed to vote.
As we watch issues of voting rights and future responsibilities, it's important to keep our eye on the significance of the federal court.
And this one caught my eye, like Thomas Cooper, who was shown as convicted on the 30th of January, 2007. Yeah.
Initiate the voter fund. I thank the board for the legacy of what we were able to do, and I applaud the work of Greg Moore and the wonderful staff for how he will carry this on and create the elections that can't be stolen in the future when the turnout is increased as it is.
The NAACP is the largest and the oldest, the baddest and the boldest, most loved, most hated, most feared and revered, of course, most cussed and discussed civil rights organization in the world. And we have been tried, tested, and true with this thing that we do. And for folks to come in and hold us to a different standard, it doesn't reek of racism, it blatantly is.
The NAACP and the NAACP National Voter Fund is working very hard. We have launched our Empowerment 2004 campaign. And we're conducting massive voter registration in 11 key states. The NAACP is targeting another 13 states. So between the two of us, we're going to hit about 22 states in the next 6 months.
There's another election coming up in November. And once again, freedom is on the ballot. And unless you and you and you and you and the resources you've helped us raise tonight, unless we can maximize that effort, we're going to find that the majority is going to be beaten again. Don't let that happen. Thank you for coming.
We will never forget. Before Francis, before Charlie, before Ivan, before Gene, there was a more devastating disaster in Florida that changed a national election. Tens of thousands of citizens were maliciously denied their legal right to vote. Don't let it happen to you. Check it now. Call 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Brought to you by the NAACP National Voter Fund.
Vote or die.
Don't get played.
Feel the power.
Rock the vote. Rock the vote.
Choose or lose. Okay, I've heard it all. I'm in the game, I'm registered, and ready to let my vote be my voice.
You are?
Yes, I am.
You're in the game.
A player.
Okay, player. What time does your polling place open?
In the morning.
Where is your poll? What's your precinct number?
I don't know.
What ID do you need to vote?
Huh? ID?
Listen, player. We learned in 2000 that there is more to voting than just casting your ballot on Election Day. You got to check it, verify your status as a registered voter, know your polling place, when it opens and closes. What are the ID requirements? What are your rights? And what are provisional ballots?
Maybe I should holler at the registrar of voters or the Board of Elections.
Now you've got it. Make sure you're a player. Check it and verify your status now and on November 2nd. Vote and let your voice be heard.
Paid for by the NAACP National Voter Fund.
It's a good time to be in South Carolina, isn't it? We have a strong legacy here in South Carolina of political participation, and this year is an important and historic year. History has shown us that major movements can take place and can affect major legislative change. And we're looking forward to this historic election bringing about change in a mighty way. We have a number of people who are here with us who are going to be a part of helping to mobilize voters throughout the week. And from this point on, we're going to move on to other states throughout the country as we seek to maximize voter participation for African Americans all over. You know, it's cold outside, and when we march this afternoon, it reminds me much of the marches that we did to fight for this holiday.
Minute by minute, hour by hour, as you lose your history
house. Sharpen your eyes and tune your ears so that you'll know what you see and understand what you hear. Good morning, South Carolina. Welcome to King Day 208. The South Carolina State Conference of branches of the NAACP welcomes you. We welcome you to this historic moment in Columbia, South Carolina. The black vote. They said we never go to the Citadel, but we do. They said we never go to USC, but we do. They said we never be the mayor, but we are. They said we never vote, but we do. They said we never be free, but we are.
The Tom Joyner Morning Show and the NAACP wants to make sure your vote counts. Get started with 1-866-MY-VOTE-1. You can get registered, find your polling place, or make sure you receive your absentee ballot at 1-866-MY-VOTE-1. And keep listening to the Tom Joyner Morning Show.
What do you want? What do you say about
peace, justice, equality, truth,
accountability,
equal opportunity,
a healthy economy,
a healthy environment,
education,
civil rights, human rights,
freedom,
our honor,
our country,
the American dream?
Voice your vote.
Voice your vote.
Voice your vote.
One vote.
One chance. Register today.
One vote, one chance.
This is the Flyjack Tom Joyner with your Super Tuesday Election Day Watchdog Update.
Hello, this is Cynthia Spence, and I vote at Westlake High School in South Fulton County. They only have 2 of the express ballot machines. Poll workers are very frustrated because they only have 2 of the machines.
We're here all day reporting Election Day irregularities on Super Tuesday. If you have any problems at the polls today, give us a call at 1-866-MY-VOTE-1.
What do you want?
What do you say about peace,
Justice,
equality,
truth,
accountability, equal opportunity,
A healthy economy,
A healthy environment.
education,
civil rights,
human rights,
freedom,
Our honor.
our country?
the American dream?
Voice your vote.
Voice your vote. Voice your vote.
One vote,
One chance. Register today. One vote.
One chance.